Hey, Jared.
How's it going, Darren?
Hey, great to connect. Right on time there. Good day so far?
Very good. I didn't want to keep you. I know you're going to go right to watching as soon as we're done.
Exactly, exactly. Hosting some company and then watching it on delay. Is it
Oh,
kind of
nice.
your routine to go between NXT and AEW?
It's, you know, I always watch the next night because, on demand and all that with the network. But I have to admit, on Wednesdays now, I'm always I do skimming. I skim. I do segment skimming because I know if I'm going to be into it or not. But I
Yeah.
do that with both shows, and I do AEW first every week. But then I'll always do NXT after that. But I do a lot of skipping. I know the people I like. I know I prefer storylines to just random matches, and
Sure.
so I know what I can skip.
Well, kind of leading into it, but something I'd always want to know as a real deal actor, wrestlers kind of get a bad rap for acting sometimes. Are
Mhm.
you able to watch it when the acting is really bad, or do you enjoy it more when the
it,
acting is really
it
bad?
depends. There's a fine line. I'm a big fan of strong and wrong. If we're talking about bad performances in wrestling, if they are going for it 150% and it's a train wreck like the Lana Rusev wedding, I loved it. Oh, sorry, not Lana Rusev. You know what I mean, the Lana Bobby
Ashley,
Lashley.
yeah,
I loved it. It was the corniest thing, but they went for it. I don't like when it's just an interview with a guy who's kind of trying to be cool and trying to seem like he doesn't care. Then I don't care. And then, of course, when you have Edge and Randy Orton and the frickin' what was the last thing? Something made me tear up. It was so good in the past year. They still have these moments. They still have
right.
moments where it really can get me. Edge has come back at Royal Rumble. Then they make these documentaries of them and everything they're going through, and it's just so good.
Yeah. Now, when I liked wrestling, I'm going to say 13 years ago, because I grew up into it and then I got out of it and then I got
You and
back
me
in.
both. Same thing.
Okay. It
Yep.
was super taboo in 2006, 2007 to tell people that you liked wrestling. Now, totally normal. Do you have like a secret Broadway community of people that watch wrestling?
Yes, it's the people I text. It's a very small niche. I know about four actors that I know from different walks. One of them I did a show with his now wife years ago. One of them I've done a couple of shows with, and my wife has done shows with him. And we've just kind of randomly found out. And then it's this very underground, because in the actor community, very few of us watch wrestling. None of the girls do. Very few of the guys do. And it's like this weird little thing. Like, we know that each other watches, but no one else of the actors know that we watch it. But I'm pretty loud and proud about it too. If someone was to ask me, I wouldn't deny it for a second. Even though they roll their eyes a little bit within the acting community, I don't give a shit. I unabashedly love it.
And did DDP come to one of your shows? Do I remember that correctly?
Dude, you know what I'm the king of? One of my uh, actor buddies who's into wrestling is always like, dude, you're amazing at this. I really will leverage, well, it's because if you help me out. I really will leverage if I'm able to get contact with a wrestler and I'm doing a big deal of a show or something, I invite them and say, I'll bring you backstage after. And so got the email for you, keep this in there if you want to or not, but I emailed him and he's like, hell yeah. And he came backstage and I'm like, we got to get a fucking picture. I tried not to be a total nerd. And it was like the coolest night ever. That's because of you.
I don't always like to take credit. I just remembered seeing out of nowhere that you were interacting with him. It's like, oh, they know each other. And then I realized, oh, maybe whatever it is that happened.
Yeah.
Did you ever encounter, because wasn't one of the vaudevillains on Broadway for a little bit?
Is that true?
I remember his hashtag, or I'm sorry, his username on Twitter was WWE Drama King, and they like to say that he was on Broadway. I know his first name's Matthew. Don't know.
No, that's not Aiden English, right?
Aiden English, yes.
It is him. I know that's kind of his thing. I guess what I've heard is that he was a theater actor. I had never met him. But I'm kind of curious what his resume is. I have no idea what he's done. I guess I would believe that he was a theater actor, though, from the way he performs, and he's good at being theatrical, but I've never crossed paths with him. I'm trying to think if I have with any. I went to high school with Zach Ryder.
Oh, you went to Calhoun. That's right.
Yeah. So we were in choir together. We he he was kind of always cool because he was one of the jocks that was cool with the drama kids. Whereas all the other jocks would be like, drama's gay, you're so gay. Cardona, Matt Cardona, his real name, would be like, bro, did you really go to do Aladdin for 6 months in Disneyland? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, fucking sick, bro. And so him and his dad and his brother Greg, who was my year, Matt was 1 or 2 years older, they were total jocks / actor fans, theater fans, whatever. And so I've always I can text him every now and then without bothering him and be like, dude, you fucking killed it. I'm just waiting for him to pop up on AEW. I don't know when they're saving that for.
I think that we're all excited to see where he goes next, and he's going to be doing big things. But back to you here. Unfortunately, like everybody else on Broadway, you're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. But I understand that you've been able to teach online and do that pretty well.
Yeah, thank God. It's been good. I do Zoom, just like this, actor coaching. Most of them are high school aged. So we're getting them ready for their college auditions and stuff like that, or their local auditions, or I'll just assign them material from Broadway shows, TV, film, stuff like that. And I have like 10 to 15 students a week. So it's been good to me. Thank gosh. And my wife teaches voice on Zoom. So we're making it work, man. We're scavengers. So we find the business, even while our business is on hold. My wife is going to be part of the Michael Jackson musical on Broadway. When the time comes, make sure if you want to see it, reach out to me and I'll set you up backstage for that. But oh yeah, she's going to be the female lead of that musical. She's incredible. And they're postponed till at least January to start up, and they were supposed to start in May.
Wow. In entertainment family, we see that more and more. It's common where both spouses are actors. Has it always been that you two were full-time as long as you've been together?
Oh yeah. Yep. Ever since we met on a gig. And so it's always been that way. The only time she took off is when she was pregnant with our sweet, sweet baby. But then she was right back, and she's like, let me see, because I was doing Donna Summer when Luna was born. And so she said, can I try the stay-at-home mom thing and see how I like it? I'm like, yeah, now's the best time. I'm making this money. Got a gig. It's great. Go for it. But she realized after a couple months, she's like, nope, I want to be working. And so she went right back to it.
Right.
Yeah.
When in your career, now you mentioned Aladdin before, you're not a newbie to acting, to say the very, very least. And the high school that you went to is very prestigious for acting. Debbie Gibson went there, and Jerry, and I think Lindsay Lohan did, to use a wrestling term, a cup of coffee there. Some hardcore bands came out of Calhoun and all that. But when is it that you realize that this is a career and not just 1 or 2 gigs?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, as soon as I was high school age, starting to look at colleges, to go to get your BFA in college means you're taking it, or at a university or a college means you're taking it seriously. You're dedicating your whole 4 years of study to it. And then I knew I was going to pursue it that aggressively way before I even graduated college. I knew that was it, because freshman year was when I went to go do Aladdin. And so I was 18 years old. I came back and I graduated on time, and then I hit the ground running, and there's never been a question of how seriously I'll pursue it. It was my full-time life from college.
And then when it's coming to the pandemic and quarantining, everybody's in a different state of mind, to say the very least. And I'm finding that people are either more productive than they've ever been, or this is their time off. You seem to be productive as ever between the teaching and a positive mindset that's coming across on social media. Do I have that right? Yeah.
And it's funny. Some actors are like making all these videos of themselves singing and stuff. And I'm like, I don't need that kind of attention. We don't need to convince anybody of your talent during this time. If they know you're talented, you don't need to be making all these videos. What my creative outlet ended up being, I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram, are these very silly, fun, I created a little 2-minute weekly TV show I do with my daughter at the pond, where I edit it together, and it's really she's a freaking ham. And so it's so funny. And I edit it really quickly, kind of fast cuts sort of thing. So that's become and then, it gets like close to like 1,000 views a week. So that's not bad. And it's a fun thing to make. And so that's kind of been my random little creative outlet during this time while everything else is on hold. So it's the coaching, I'll edit these Pond Pals, and we've just been doing house projects, which is nice. My wife's parents are here, so we've been working on the backyard and stuff like that. It's a nice time to have a house.
Right, right. Had you always been creative? I say that obviously acting is a creative path, but not all actors edit or write or create stuff when they're not working.
Yeah, right. I always I wish I could write, because I feel like if I was good at it, I'd do it all the time, but I don't feel confident in that the way a lot of actors I know do. They're these amazing theater, TV actors, and they write these scripts that get picked up by agents, and I'm like, that's incredible. But I've been doing the I like doing video editing, production of things that I'm in ever since I used to have this semi-weekly vlog that was Broadway themed, where I would interview Broadway actors in their dressing rooms, quick cuts. I'd be asking them the most ridiculous questions just to take the piss out of it and be ridiculous. And it was called Jared's Broadway Booze, BOO''S, like Friends.
Yeah, sure.
And I must have done like 50 or 60 Tony winners. And by the time it kind of caught on and people started liking it, I was doing Broadway stars on this thing. And that must have started 6 or 7 years ago. And then I stopped doing it once I moved out to Jersey and had a baby, because there was no time.
Understandable, to say the least. So what's a typical day like for you at the moment?
Yeah, right now it's we get up, we have coffee, we work out in the morning. I'm happy that I built a gym in my house, and so we'll work out and we'll run. It's all baby time all day. Then when she naps, I'll work on stuff in the office, or I'll have a coaching. My wife will coach. We go on our walks together. We cook dinner together. It's a lot of good family time, and that's been really nice. And then when she goes to bed, we're always watching something. Right now, she had never seen The Office. I never finished The Office, so we're watching The Office. We're near the end now.
British Office and American, or just American?
Oh, dude, we already watched the British. We love the British, and we're almost done with the American.
Any TV or movie recommendations that you can pass along to people besides AEW, NXT, and The Office?
Oh, sure. Probably my favorite drama has got to be, I'm such a Twin Peaks. As soon as I got into it, I was obsessed. Love Twin Peaks, both the old and the new. As far as new stuff, HBO Succession is probably the best drama I've seen in a long time. And comedy.
You seem like you'd be a Letterkenny guy.
I never saw it. Good?
If it's like Canadian, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with a thick accent.
Oh, shit, I got to watch that, because I'm actually catching up on It's Always Sunny. That's one of my old shows. But, Twin Peaks, David Lynch, the weirdness of it that just like tickles the brain. I freaking love it.
And then back to the wrestling thing. Are you watching everything? Because obviously it's different when you're a responsible, respectful parent.
Well, yes, but true wrestling fans will always find the time. And so, my wife and I will be in the living room after Luna goes to bed, and we'll eat dinner and we'll watch our show together. But then once we go to bed and we're in bed, she's got her show she likes to watch until she falls asleep, and I have my thing I watch till I fall asleep. And every night it's wrestling. Every night. Here's what it looks like. Tuesday night, I'm catching up on Monday Night Raw. Same thing on, and then / keeping up with NWA, because I like their stuff a lot right now.
Sure.
I like it a lot. And then, like I told you, on Thursday, I'm catching up with all the Wednesday stuff. That takes me until Friday. I'll catch up on SmackDown. And then with any time that's not that, I don't watch TNA, admittedly. I don't watch Ring of Honor. So it's all WWE, NXT, AEW, NWA, which I never thought I would say. Before the Wednesday Night War, I did not watch NXT, but then I guess because I knew there was competition, I wanted to watch. So that got me. But I'm not one of these poisonous freaking fans who needs to bomb the other side of the fence. It's just so ridiculous. I can't. If you get me started on internet, wrestling Twitter makes me want to cut my nuts off. I can't stand these people who are so negative. It just, I can't, and you know that they live in their parents' basement, these nerds. I don't get me started. But when I'm not watching all that new stuff, I have the network, and I, like you, stopped watching for years. And so I'm catching up on all the pay-per-views I never saw, which I love.
Does your wrestling fandom go deep to the point that you know who Fantasio is?
No idea. Who's that?
Fantasio, I think, only had one televised match. I'm going to say 93, 94. The gimmick was that he did magic tricks while wrestling. P-H-A-N, Fantasio.
That's brilliant. Oh, my God. They'll try anything.
It's kind of the same era as the Goon and...
Oh, sure. Bruce Pritchard making all just good gimmicks out of a box.
Abe Knuckleball Schwartz, I think, was and all that. And then where are you at in terms of wrestling podcasts? I've heard people that only listen to them and don't actually watch the show, and other way
I do
around.
it all. I do it freaking all. I watch all that product, and then I follow tons. Every Conrad Thompson one, so Something to Wrestle,
Wow.
Arn Anderson, Eric Bischoff, Tony Schiavone. Who am I missing?
You got the Arn, the JR one?
And the JR one. All of those. All of them. Jim Cornette. Both of his. And those are the ones that I'll listen to everything they make because I like it all the time, unless it happens to be they're covering a subject that I don't particularly care about, but that's rare. And then even more rare, like Stone Cold, if he puts out a good old one of his interviews, I'll listen to that. X-Pac doesn't make his anymore. I listened to that a little bit for a while. Yeah, dude, because it's great for me because that's all I want to listen to when I'm working out. It's the best distraction. And so that I can really carve out hours a day. And if it's just me and Lou going to the pond, it's podcasting the whole hour and a half of walking.
So anybody who's going to be reading and or hearing any of this, I think the obvious thing is this is Jared. This is the person that you should be supporting if you're a wrestling fan. Simple as that. So is there anything that we haven't covered, any projects or causes that you're serious about that you wish to get out there?
No, nothing right now. Donating to Black Lives Matter in any possible way. You know, we are just we're not guiltless as white people, and we can't just kind of sit idly by with that. So I donated as soon as that started, and I need to again, just because I feel like actions speak louder than words in that way. And then, yeah, just the selfish shit, you know, my social media and if anyone out there has kids that want to be actors and you have a steady job and you want to give your kids some one-on-one acting coaching, I'd love to be the guy to do it.
Jared, so generous with your time here.
Oh, pleasure. Thanks for having me on, Darren.
Any last words for the kids?
Oh, the kids. Try and stay happy and positive during this quarantine time. I know you miss your friends, but you're going to see them soon. And just don't drive your parents insane. Thankfully, your child is not driving you insane. Your child's helping you detriment. So live in the word, live in the dream. So thank you for your time. Absolutely, Darren. Take care. Paltrocast.